The sign at the edge of the woods wasn't on the map. It read, "Welcome to Silentium, population 0. The air grew unnervingly quiet as they passed it. No birds, no insects, no wind. The radio crackled ominously, and a chilling voice whispered, "Don't make a sound. If you do, they will come." They should have turned back. What started as a detour for 5 friends on a road trip, Emily, Sarah, Danny, Alex, and Lisa, quickly turned into a nightmare when they stumbled upon Silentium, a forgotten town that seemed stuck in time. Its streets were empty, its houses pristine, and its silence suffocating. "Where is everyone?" Sarah asked, her voice cutting through the quiet like a knife. The moment she spoke, an unnatural heaviness settled over them. Shadows seemed to shift, and the group became acutely aware of being watched. Inside an old schoolhouse, they found the first sign of the town's sinister history. Scrawled across a chalkboard in jagged handwriting were the words, "Do not make a sound. They are always listening." As Danny brushed it off as a prank, the others began noticing strange details. Shadows flickered behind curtains in houses where no one lived. Doors creaked open as if beckoning them inside. And the radio in their car, long silent, crackled again. "Leave or stay forever." Ignoring the warnings, Danny laughed nervously. The sound echoed like a gunshot through the silent streets. That's when they saw them. From the mist, figures began to emerge. Gaunt and distorted, their hollow eyes glowed faintly, and their mouths gaped wide as if screaming in silence. "They can't see us," Alex whispered. "They can only hear." The group fled into a nearby house, slamming the door behind them. Through the window, they watched the figures sniff the air, their heads jerking in sharp, unnatural movements. "Stay quiet," Emily whispered, her voice trembling. In the house, they found an old journal belonging to Silentium's last resident. It told of the town's dark secret. Centuries ago, Silentium's founders summoned creatures known as the Whisperers to protect the town from invaders. But the ritual went horribly wrong. The Whisperers turned on their creators, feeding on any sound. One by one, the townsfolk vanished, leaving behind only a pristine ghost town and an unbreakable curse. The journal's last entry read, "The Whisperers hunger for sound. Silence is survival, but no one escapes the quiet." That night, Lisa accidentally knocked over a vase. The sound shattered the stillness, and the Whisperers descended. Their movement was horrifyingly fast. One moment Lisa was beside them. The next, she was dragged into the shadows, her screams swallowed by the void. The remaining 4 fled through the maze of empty streets, the Whisperers close behind. Every creak of a floorboard or rustle of clothing brought the creatures closer. In desperation, they hid in the church, the only building that seemed untouched by the curse. There, they found shattered mirrors on an altar and a single note. "Silence binds them. Noise frees them. To escape, you must destroy the silence. But it may destroy you first." Danny, trembling, whispered, "We have to fight back." He pulled out his phone, intending to play a blaring siren to distract the Whisperers. "No," Emily hissed. "They'll hear us." But it was too late. Danny's phone buzzed, a single notification. The Whisperers exploded into the church like a shadowy flood, their twisted forms writhing as they dragged Danny into the dark. His screams were short-lived, replaced by an echoing silence. Emily, Alex, and Sarah escaped through a broken window, running for the edge of town. At the town's boundary, They stopped to catch their breath. The forest seemed darker now, the oppressive silence even heavier. "Did we make it?" Sarah asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Then Emily's phone vibrated. The screen flickered and a text appeared. "You can leave, but the silence will follow." In her reflection on the screen, a whisperer stared back at her, its grotesque mouth curling into a smile. Emily sold the house and tried to start a new life in the city. But one night, as she unpacked in her new apartment, she found something that made her blood run cold. A shard of glass from the church's altar. When she picked it up, her reflection grinned and whispered, "You'll never escape." Some curses don't end when you leave. And in Silentium, silence isn't just golden, it's deadly.